It's actually messing with me. It's not a joy to be paying Virgin all that money and them not actually doing what they said they were going to do. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit hard. But anyway, thank you very much for joining me. My name's Rudi Lickwood, and you've come to the Keeping It Real show. It's where I get an opportunity to interview people that I've come across over the years, people that have entertained you, people that have entertained me, unsung heroes, as I like to call them. I'm sure you've got a few unsung heroes yourself. It'd be interesting for you just to put in the comment section for me an unsung hero. If you've got an unsung hero, just put that in the comment section for me. Give me an idea of what you perceive to be an unsung hero, because I reckon there are quite a few out there, you know, who don't get the recognition that they actually deserve. So, yeah, pop it in the comments. Let me see what comes up. I'll wait. I will patiently wait for a comment or two, just to make sure that I've got the got your attention at the moment. So pop in there for me, an unsung hero, and I will pop them up on the screen. Because the thing is that what I'm not sure of is how well I'm actually broadcasting. Because, like I said, when I started the show, it looked as though it started off okay, and then everything kind of like stuck. So I'm not sure if everything's working okay. Julie, good evening, Julie. How are you doing? Evening, R&B crew, keeping it real massive, as she would say. Evening, Rudy. Evening, Spice. Thank you very much for joining me. So that's good. I've noticed that the YouTube channel is working. The Facebook channel is up, which is good. So the notifications should be going out. Yes, good evening, Spice. Thanks. And I guess I've got a few people watching the show in the background. Hey, I've got a few of you watching in the background. Okay. Well, for those of you who don't know, my guest is a thespian, better known as an actress. An actress. And renowned too. Very special. Very, 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 very special. In fact, our unsung hero. Let's see now. Unsung hero. My older sister, a real trooper. Oh, I love that. You're calling your own sister an unsung hero. You know what? It is so true. Sometimes the very unsung heroes are right underneath our noses, and we don't even pay any attention to it. But this young unsung hero, I'm sure that you will all know. Please, I'm going to give her a round of applause as we welcome in Miss Lavern Archer.
Thank you.
How you doing, Lavern?
I'm doing good, man.
You're looking good. I must admit, you're looking good.
Thank you.
Cocoa butter.
Cocoa butter.
Is it cocoa butter? Is that what you call it? It's the cocoa. It must be either the cocoa butter or it must be the air. It must be the air that you're breathing as well. Because
I must say, in the lockdown, oh my gosh, the one last year, I went outside, and there were a few nights where, away from the skunks, because they're fearless.
Okay.
Away from them, I would have slept outside. The weather was good. High spice and everything like that. The air was fresh. When you look up into the sky, we start to see animal, but it gone back to its old dirty self again.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have thought that the air in Canada. I thought that the air was fresh, clean, wholesome.
It's not bad. It's not bad. But when you see the comparison between lockdown last year, honestly, Rudy, I saw an animal come out to the back garden once. I heard my daughter screaming. I was all the way in the basement, screaming for me. Boy, I feel like a hero when I ran up the stairs to see, I'm coming! When I reach up there, she managed to get in the house. She said, I just saw something. Mom, I don't know what it is. it scared the baby, and he couldn't come down off the slide. And when look, I said, Google the thing, because I don't know it, you know. I mean, I don't know Jamaican animals and England animals. I don't know about no Canadian animals. This thing was called a possum.
Oh, a possum. That's like a small little rat.
Ugly little fella here, man.
Yeah, it's got a nose.
And then the way it moved. Oh my gosh. But the animals came out. The ear was fresh. Oh my gosh, the summer was the greenest grass you've ever seen.
Okay.
If that is your paradise look, man, make sure someone go there.
Hear this right now? Because you're in Canada now. I mean, why Canada?
Well, my two daughters were here, and they had babies. And long before they had babies, we had preempted the move from England to Canada because they were not coming back to England. They just love Canada. They love England for life, theater life, nightlife, party, and going out. But for living, they prefer Canada. The houses are bigger, more spacious, more backyard, streets are big, and all of that. So they weren't going to come back. So they filed for me, as they call it.
Okay. I like that.
For me.
Okay.
And I came. It came through. It took a long time.
Okay.
Much more than 7 years.
Right.
I wasn't countryless or homeless, so they can't go on. So they took long to get here and helping with the grandkids. I'm right now. I am a full-time grandma.
Yes.
Loving it.
Yes, because you mentioned that you're a full-time grandmother, and I was quite taken aback by just exactly how many you're surrounded by.
And since that picture in 2017 when I just arrived, I've had 2, 4, 6, 7, 2 more added to that, so I've got 9 now.
You got 9 grandchildren. Jesus Christ, man! Because I must admit, every time I do have a conversation with you, or I always hear some children in the background. There's always kids in the background somewhere, and it's like 1 minute you're all right talking to me, and next minute,
you're too wicked. I talk to my kids like that when they were kids, but my grandchildren, I don't know what is wrong with parents and grandchildren. We seem to turn stupid and soft and mushy. Don't do that, baby. Don't do that. For me, but I can tell you something. If I see you do that one more time, I bet you take the shoes and lick in your head.
Yeah.
But with my children and our grandchildren, it's much different. Don't do that. Don't let me have to talk to you again. Will you please stop?
Do you find that as a grandparent that you've got more patience?
I have more patience, and I worked it out. Why? I'm not the main act. I'm the supporting act.
Okay.
The parents are the main act. So when they get ruffled, like I used to get ruffled with them, I am able to say, calm down, take it easy. Because I'm not rushing off to go and go cook no dinner unnecessarily, although I do a lot of the cooking. But I just have more patience because I've got time on my hands.
Okay.
Parents don't have time. They're rushing to get the kids to there and here and everywhere, and it just stress them out. So then just bark and shout and all of that. Fling our shoes are too.
I must admit, time is a commodity that sometimes I think that we waste. If you get what I mean, it's the longest and shortest thing that we possibly can have in our lives, but we tend to waste it. Whether it be by procrastinating or just letting time slip by. I mean, I know a lot of people, they're very ambitious and what have you, but it is that sense of time. And I guess, I mean, how many? You said you got 9 grandchildren, yeah? Yeah,
9. Oldest, and my daughters were late starters. My first grandchild I got from my last child. While the 2 older ones just did a mess about, just mucking about, And then I'm saying, hold on, maybe I'm thinking they're mucking about, but maybe they're incapable. And when I thought it, that was not how I said it either, Rudy.
I know. I couldn't imagine you just jumping in going, that is not how you do it. Now let me
One time, when they reached 35, I sent both of them a message and happy birthday, and I said, please think about the fact that you're now moving into mule mode.
Okay.
Because, mule can't have children, so hurry up the case. No, 35 now. Get on with it.
You see, and the thing is that the analogy that you used was one of a Jamaican expression. Mule mode.
Yes. Yeah.
Grandchildren are a blessing and keep you busy, says Spice Gibson.
Yes, sir. And then I sometimes I just don't understand myself. Having come in after all of those here to deal with, I had all 7 of them. Because I one living in England, the biggest one you see in the picture, he lives there in England. And he comes over. He has to because it's grandma handbag that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And the first one. And so I have all those. And then my niece in Jamaica said, oh, I'm going to send up my son. Then my other niece in New York said, yeah, it's cheaper to send him there than pay child care. And then I have a little Sri Lankan boy next door. Oh, he's so sweet. He's so sweet. You just want to take him away. And he discovered that he is my grandson's school classmate, and they were friends and didn't know that they live with each other. But me, I'm enough self come work that out. And soon we had all of them. I had 10 children, 2 summers in a row already.
Okay.
You know what I do?
What?
Me turn it in a summer camp. Breakfast at 7. Everybody, you set the table. You get the cups. You sit down. Breakfast. Everybody eat. And finish it. Then it's going out. I just had to do regimental stuff to get through. But I loved it.
You've got quite a few of the gentlemen stepping in saying good evening to you as well.
Aston!
Yeah, you got Aston, you got Carl.
What
you got Larry popped in as well.
Even Rudi and Rudi, yes, I mean the grandchildren relationship is so much. Yes, he knows that gentle part where we move into when we turn grandparents. But and that some of the kids are upset by it. Some of your kids. Yeah, because I said, you see, Mom never behaved like that, If it was ever we, you should have gone. Broke one little glass. I was never that kind of mother to say, this never go over the top.
Okay.
If you break a glass, I mean nothing. Just struggle by another one, simple.
Okay, because the thing is that you used to live in Sydenham, didn't you?
Yeah.
You left Sydenham, which is, what's that, Southeast London? Is that Southeast?
Between Crystal Palace and Lewisham and Catford. If you're not familiar with the suburbs.
No, I'm not actually. You know what? Because I'm Northwest London, and it took too long to drive over your side. The only time I would go over there is if I'm going to come and see you down at Catford Theatre. That's the only time I go over there. So otherwise, I mean, I'll go there.
People used to say, like if we're uptown and we are going away, okay, Lavern have to leave early because she go bush.
No, because the thing is that it's actually, you can actually drive from where I live. It's quicker for me to get from here to Luton, and that's on the M1.
That's traffic though.
For me to go to Catford.
I know because me there bush. It's because it's the traffic.
Yeah. Was that another thing that you actually wanted to get away from? I mean, the whole rustle and bustle of it all, because this is another gentleman that I often hear in the background. And look at the space that you've got all out there in the fields and everything.
Yeah, there's space, man. Space. Kind of a big, Hey, I live in Brampton, which is about an hour away from Toronto, which is the major city. And when I think that me there Canada, and if me want to go to BC, 8 hours messing up on the flight just like me come to England, but might as well I go to England and then I see everybody. But nobody thinks I'm come here, come take up dog business and I'm going like me a dog walker,
No, I hear that, but I mean, you are a bit of an animal lover. You can't deny that. You can't.
I like animals, prefer dogs to cats.
You're very much a carer.
Yeah, I prefer dogs to cat. I'm not afraid. One thing I can't take, Rudy. Jesus. And sometimes I ask God, why did you do that? Lizard.
Oh, lizard. Hey, not wrong with lizard, you know. Lizard tastes like chicken. I know you don't. You're Jamaican. You guys don't eat them. The Guyanese eat them because.
Yeah, I know the iguana, but I'm not talking about just iguana. I'm just talking about every lizard. I hate lizards.
Okay. Yeah. Anything with a scale. Anything with a scale. Anything with like snake and all them thing there.
Funny enough, I can look at a snake in a picture. I don't mind it. But if I'm talking to you now and don't you dare do it, pop a lizard on the screen, I'm out of this room.
Okay. That's like. I guess that's like me and spiders.
Oh, a lot of men seem to be afraid of spiders more than lizard and them thing there.
But that was a nice little warm up because let's get into you a little bit more. You know, let's talk about you.
Hi, Ginger Ridge. I love that place. Yeah. That's my birth town. That's the home to my parents, and I didn't stay there long enough. I left there when I was about 6. Went to Old Harbour to live. Oh God, and then I moved back there about 16 or so, and that's when I really, really fell in love with the place. It's serene, it's green. My only problem up there was Dutty and lizard.
Dutty, so I mean, for my English friend, she's talking about ghosts. Okay, talking about ghosts. Yeah. When she said Dutty, she means ghosts. So, and what part of Jamaica is that? What part of Jamaica?
That is in St. Catherine. Don't ask me about north, south, east, and west. I think it might be northern. St. Catherine. So you go from Old Harbour. I don't know if you've ever been to Jamaica or ever been.
I've been to Browntown. I've been to Ocho Rios. I've been to Kingston. I've been to obviously Montego because that's where the airplane comes in. You get what I mean?
Okay. So you haven't been to where they have the best fried fish and bami all over, but.
Okay, I think there'd be quite a few people who would either agree or disagree because there's loads of yardies in there. There's loads of yardies in there.
Yeah, so that's where I'm from, Ginger. It's a very, very rural town. And it's just quiet. I think that's how Bible days must have been. Where people they argue, but I never seen no grown men fight. But I know if your animal going to somebody's farm and eat the food, they had arguments about that, and they normally Master King no Ginger Age.
That's what she said. That's what she said. Master said she know it. She said she know it. See, 1 minute. This is what I'm saying is that we have to bear up with the connection because she's streaming all the way from Canada. So hopefully her Wi-Fi will kick in. You can see that she's got the word G coming out of her mouth, Ginger Ridge coming out of her mouth. You know what I mean? But there's quite a few of them who are coming from Jamaica. A lot of them don't even know it. In truth, I reckon, to be honest with you. A lot of them don't know it. A lot of them know. They claim say them know it. Ha ha! I always sit and laugh when I see how Mum reacts or speaks to my daughter. I'm like where you were when I was getting licks in. A lot of people who can relate.
Yeah. So Larry is one of them. Well, Larry laughs at it when he sees his mother interacting with his daughter with all that soft mushiness. Yeah. Some people say, "Boy, watch her." Oh, hola, wonderful place, love it. Oh, that.
Oh, that's Juicy Julie.
Okay.
Juicy Julie. And Marcia seems to be talking to you on a 1-to-1. You know me. Marcia King, you better rattle your memory.
You see now, this is the thing with Jamaican people. You know them as one name of Jamaican. When they come a foreign, all of a sudden they have another name.
Marcia, you have a next name?
When they're in Jamaica, either they start pronounce it differently. Like people who came to Jamaica and from Jamaica, they was Sonia. When they come to England, they're Sonia.
Yes, of course. But you had to
Yeah,
play
Marcia. I think Marcia is. I know her as
Lorna.
Lawrence.
Lorna. So
Yes,
Marcia, you couldn't reveal yourself from the beginning. You never want to reveal yourself from the beginning.
she knows that. Well, I know definitely she knows that Ginger Age is pretty.
Is it? Because Aston is saying country living is the real deal.
Sure, man. And you see, the thing is, we don't appreciate that when we're there. We think we're poor, but when we're living in the country, we are very rich. We're rich in the most vital things. Because you know what? Anything where money can't buy is what is the best thing and worth having. That people, they farm. If you had lots of peas and this one had lots of banana, they exchange. You bring 10 round banana.
Barter.
Yeah, and they go church. Some of them go church, but if they send the kids, it's just really good, man. Everybody have a different name in Jamaica. True that. Because, ladies and gentlemen, let me reintroduce myself to you. I am Lavern Archer, also known as Maisie.
Maisie, yes, but tell them the story in terms of why they call you Maisie. Tell them why you call Maisie.
Well, when I was born in October the 22nd, my father had a cow. And it also gave birth on the 22nd of October to a calf. I don't know if it was as beautiful as I was, but the cow had a calf. And the cow name was Daisy. So my father thought, I will call her Maisie.
Okay. That's beautiful.
I don't mind the name.
Yeah.
The story behind it.
I call me a cow. Yeah, I try to say.
My father has that knock because I had a brother who was born on the day when they changed from pound, shilling, and pence to dollars and cents. And what do you think my father called his son? The one boy Pitney, when we had so many years for, because there were 8 girls before that boy come along. Seaman.
Oh, no, you did. See Amanda.
Because the day was actually referred to as Sea Day.
Okay.
So he was born around about that time, or if not on the same day. He was called Seaman.
Okay. But you see, that's the thing is that, I like the idea that you could always relate to the seasons or the changes or the, in terms of the way that people are given names and things like that. It's always in relation to one's environment that one actually lives in. Whereas when we started coming out with names like alopecia, everything was like a cha, and I'm thinking, why? I think it was an 80s thing. No, it was a 90s. Yeah. It was the 90s.
70s, 80s.
70s, 80s. Everybody was.
Yeah, 70s, 80s. We sort of had a connection with our African side, and we were trying to get this Shakira and the Natasha and the Shashas, and people went to town.
So what was you like when you was at school? What was you like as a young lady at school? Because we don't see a face there.
I was neat. I loved my school uniform. It was pleated, and set the pleat them sit down. I went to Old Harbour Secondary at the time, now called Old Harbour High, and I had to be good when I didn't especially want to be good. I just wanted to be me, live life and enjoy my teenage years, laugh loud and chaka, chat with one boy. But my auntie teacher at the school when we went, so that just seriously cramped my style.
I don't think there's anything worse than having a relative
teach at the school that you go. Yeah, and she was not just an aunt as such. She was my guardian, because when I moved from Ginger Age at age 6, I went to live with her. I grew up with her. Was not adopted in already.
No, because that's an interesting story within itself, because within the Caribbean, even as my mum used to tell me, your aunts or relatives would pop by the house. Yeah. And if they like your child, they say, you know what, may I go raise him. And they would walk out the house with your child.
Yeah, it was pretty much like that for me. my aunt, and she was a beater. My mother, if any beat not going on, my mother gonna do it. My father never beat much, but then I didn't live with them a lot. So my aunt.
This is your aunt, yeah?
No, this is my mom.
This is your mom.
Yeah.
So wait, hold on. So I've got.
That's Gladys Sayers. And if anybody from Old Harbour Bay are ever in this, they will know that Gladys Sayers, she used to have a strap line. When her kids, and she feel that they've been hard done by her, Gladys G.V. Sayers don't care.
Okay.
She was stern. She was well stern. And when she was going to teachers college, she was much older than me. She used to come home, and I was a little girl, and I guess she never had a dolly. I was her dolly. She combed my hair, and this and do everything. And she said as soon as she finished teachers college, she was going to take me, and she did just that.
She took you in. She
just take me. Karen is gone. And you know, it's country.
Yeah.
So your parents will say, you know, she's going to make her go for a better life. It's a common thing in our culture.
That's what I'm saying. It might sound weird to some people, but I do know that it happens. Or it used to happen. Sorry, that it used to happen quite frequently.
Yeah,
relatives would come in and go, you know what? See your daughter, there, so like you know, not in a paedophilic way, but yeah, they felt that kind of bond.
And if they feel that they can offer you a better life than what you know, taking you out to the country or whatever it is, education or just enlightenment, whatever it is, they would take you on. And I loved her.
Was you aware of what was going on at the time when you were
No, I wasn't aware. I started primary school in Ginger Ridge, and I really loved my primary school teacher, Mrs. Harris. She was a sweet, gentle soul. And then I was off, leaving Mrs. Harris and the whole of Ginger Ridge behind. And when I was driving to Old Harbour already, I think it was the first man going out moving vehicle. I was so astonished by how fast the trees were running.
Okay. Whoa. Okay. Okay.
You know, you're driving, you see that the trees moving.
Zoom.
I actually thought the trees were moving.
Okay.
And yeah, I went to Old Harbour, and I had a good life growing up. Even at school, at primary school, I hated it. Really, really, truly hated it. There were a couple of people there that made me hate it. Teachers, and one girl in particular. That made me. She just thought she had an authority over me, and didn't like that. I couldn't play. If she saw me playing, it's like, why you not step your uniform? Why you doing this? You're not my mother. Leave me alone. Okay. Your mother and my mother are my adopted mother are simply friends. Stay out of my business, but I couldn't do that, and that just made me dislike her. But I left Old Harbour. Old Harbour Bay Primary. I love that town as well, Old Harbour Bay. Really.
But you used to have to leave well early to go to school, though, innit?
That's when I was up country. After I moved back home with my mom at age 16. Now we're another story there. But I moved back with my hand because I get too lippy.
I get too lippy now.
Too lippy. I moved back to country with my mother, and I had to take the country bus. But should I show you a picture of the country bus? Come have a picture of it, you know. I'm bus named Starliner. We get all of the load on top of it. And you see me going to, after wake up 5 o'clock in the morning to go to school. One morning, my father go in bed too damn early, and then wake up and shout out to us, boss, you know, don't hear the bus coming. What is this girl doing? You should have go to school. We got up quick and rustle and run to the bus stop. We sat there waiting, no bus coming. Then we hear the village radio, what is always on. A neighbor's radio saying, it's 2 a.m. in the morning.
So you got woken up bright and early to go to school, even though it weren't time to go to school yet.
The bus don't come until 5:30.
Right. You must have vexed, though.
Of course I vex. And plus that just means I have to be out there suffering, looking out for Duppy when I can't see, because it's dark out there and every little move me and look and everything. I mean, I say how much our Father and 23rd Psalm, just in case them they're nearby, then just backward.
Okay. But then I guess, you know, when you're country folk, Would you say that they were folks tales now that you're where you're at, or would you say that no, a Duppy for real?
No, I don't believe in Duppy, and I will never say it's Duppy for real. But when you hear the conviction with which people tell their story, you might think, why? Maybe I just me can't see them. Maybe, but some people talk. I remember when Duppy, seemingly Duppy run down my mother and chase her, and we could hear. And you see how my mother a little bit around? She was rounder than that. And this Duppy chased her apparently. And then my father is a character, you know. After the Duppy chased my mother, and my mother got escorted home by a few people for security. Don't know what that was all about. Like Duppy afraid of more than three. My father then sat up outside with his cutlass all night. Can you tell me who he was going to chop up ready?
That's what I said. That's what I said. So because it's not surprising that if he's going to behave in that kind of a way, you're going to obviously think to yourself, Duppy must be real, you know?
Yeah.
Duppy must be real because that's your dad who's sitting down there with the cutlass there.
Yeah, you know, sit down out there tonight, make him come.
Yeah.
You can actually chop them.
Yeah.
So then that makes me feel even more nervous because that means they can choke me. You know.
So then, where did your love for drama come from? Where did it stem?
Well, the man that I tell you always playing radio, he was very kind. He didn't have to turn up his radio so loud, but he was the only one who had a radio for a while, and he turned it up really loud so that everybody could hear. And I lived near enough. Actually, he was my godfather, and I lived near enough. And boy, Rudi, when you hear the country talking, you know. And then I heard the radio talking. I thought, oh my God. It's like wearing a dress make out of crocus bag. And then somebody give you a dress make out of velvet. In the country, people wake up, morning, and then, and then I heard the people on the news reading the news. It sounded so polished, so beautiful. It was like, I can't even explain it, how lovely it felt to my ears. And then that's the job I wanted to do when I grew big. I wanted to read the news on the radio and say poems on the radio because I heard somebody saying poem on the radio at the same time. And I was at 6, and it stuck with me. However, prior to listening to that radio and all of that, my mother used to send me to church. And when I come home, and the others, they should ask, what was the golden text at school today? And who preach? What them preach about? I guess it's to see if we're paying attention, because I certainly don't expect her to think that I could tell her what the entire sermon was about. If you need to do that to save your soul, then you should have come to church too. Yeah. But when you ask me that, I can't just tell you the story. I had to get up on the D&G crate bottle. You know the crates that the soda come in? I had to get up on that to tell any story anybody asks me about. If I see a fight, and then I ask me, so how the fight go? I have to go up on this, and then I have to take over, and I have to be the one in a fight, and I have to be the person when I call for a cut piece, and I have to be the person who get beat up and show you how they look when they get beat up. I just had that in me. I didn't know then that was happening. I just think that was how you tell a story. Yeah. And then when I moved to Old Harbor Bay, Old Harbor High, more so, Jamaica have a thing called festival. Okay. And this is a competition, a healthy competition between schools, and it involves culinary arts, drama, music, poetry, dance, and I think some visual arts as well. Okay. And I entered from primary school. I did a poem, Louise Bennett poem. I also did, other poetry, and I sang. You used to sing? Rudi, I don't know. I don't understand what. I just grew up with good voice.
So it just God left you. It just
don't take it. You don't understand me. And even they laugh at me. I can't sing anymore,
Mm.
But I did enter singing competition and won a bronze medal. And then I entered a community drama piece for which I got silver. And that was the first time I met Oliver Samuels.
Okay.
And
what was that meeting like?
Well, he came to assess us because he had been so established in his field already that the cultural development normally send out people like that to go to the various groups that have been chosen for national finals to just see what they're doing, give them pointers to make them better. And I remember him saying to me, "You're very good, you're very good. Look, a child is a very good performer. If you decide to follow up that, give me a call and if you ever decide to." I never did because I thought you would never remember me and I would end up being embarrassed.
Okay.
Oh, this little girl doing me? Then I went me did see you and all of that. So I eventually got to work with him. For that thing, I got a silver medal called Buck Tour.
Buck Tour.
What that name for your playing?
Buck Tour.
Buck Tour, no one nice something in already. You ever buck your toe yet?
Listen, man, I buck my toe, I buck my elbow even. There's nothing worse than bucking your toe because the thing is that pain, you have to wait until it subsides.
Well, it's when you buck your toe and cut it.
Yes.
I remember I had a buck toe, my mother tied it up with a piece of white cloth. And it was so painful. I couldn't go outside, I couldn't even walk on it. So she put me at the front of the door to sit down. And every fowl that walked past picked me think it was a piece of coconut.
Oh no, so they come picky. They come over.
Exactly. Out. Everyone passed. Pick at it. I have to take it off. Yeah, so that's how I ended up loving getting into drama. I guess it was meant to be. That's the best way I can put it. Because we get some fight along the way, but I was determined that that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, because I hear you say that because what is about what age? 1 second. About age 19.
Yeah, might have been. No, I think I might have been about 21. Not too far off.
Not too far off, yeah. Yeah. So and so tell us about when you decided that you, even though you didn't have a placement.
I remind me, people can ask me back for that money retroactive for how many years back,
Because you enrolled yourself into drama school.
I tell you, that also was meant to be because you never have no phone at the time, and I was living in Veer when I made my application. Veer is in Clarendon, and we were not well known because my partner at the time, he was teaching at Veer Technical, and nobody knew us because we were not from the area. And the telegram came to say that I have been chosen to audition for a place at the school, and I never got it. And it was several weeks after I went to the post office to do something and then realized, oh, so they gave me the telegram. So I had to go there and beg for an audition. And I was too late. And then they said, yes, they will accept it and all of that. And then when the people, they tell me the money, I say, what? Jeez and peace. We can't afford that. But I didn't say anything to them. I just turned up to class. Because here how me look at it now, Rudi, sorry. If me get chosen and if me go there, me don't need no certificate. To say me go. What I want to do is learn. So you see from it gone in my head, as long as me get to finish a couple months there, be all right. Because I'm going to get the fundamentals. Okay. And then from that, me just work with what I have. So I went there and I got there early sometimes. And sometimes I still had a back that nobody no note, that the teacher no notice me. I'm taking the class, me make my notes. 1 or 2 times I'll participate in an assignment because the teacher don't know. Because him no work in admin. Said this girl end up paying a fee. And when it looked like they were going to catch up on me, we just stopped go.
Just
They just cut. But that time, me done catch what me needed to catch, learn some techniques and understood, how to, the most important thing, how to appreciate a piece of writing and get more from it than what is actually on the page.
Because you had a love for words.
Oh yeah, I fell in love with those voices and on the radio there was a disc jockey at the time, goes by the name of El Numeral Uno.
Okay.
And he had a real upbeat voice, but his diction was good and everything. Everybody on the radio just sounded so beautiful. And the words, and some of the words that they were using, I never heard them before, but they roll off of the tongue nicely. So therefore, it was just in me. I just had to do this. Teachers college was no place for me.
Okay.
I did try. I went there to register to go to teachers college because that my aunt would have paid for.
Okay.
And when I got there, oh my God, it's like they inject the people them with something named stushness. Everybody just walk around tush in some pleated skirt, and them it's just like going to teachers college already made them creme de la creme. Never liked them. They had no energy. They had no
vibe.
Nuance, no nothing. But I just end up now I'm boring person, walk up and down. I teach somebody pitney right now and I dislike them.
So what would you say is your favorite poem? Or one of?
I have quite a few favorites. One of my favorite writers was Claude McKay, a Jamaican poet. And there was a poem I used to like at school called The Little Hiawatha. That was an Indian. But one that resonates with me really well, and I find it calming even now when things get a little bit too hectic for me. It's called Litany he's also a Jamaican poet. And of course, you can't not love Louise Bennett.
Yeah, of course.
And her poems. I've done a few myself. But the one I liked that I said calm me and relaxes me at times is one called Litany.
Okay. Let's hear it. Let's hear some litany.
I test to see if it's calming for you.
Yeah, of course my test.
It says, I hold the splendid daylight in my hands, inwardly grateful for a lovely day. Thank you, life. Daylight like a fine fan spread from my hands. Daylight like scarlet poinsettia. Daylight like yellow cassia flowers. Daylight like clean water. Daylight like green cacti. Daylight like a sea sparkling with white horses. Daylight like sun-strained sky. Daylight like tropical hills. Daylight like a sacrament in my hands. Amen.
Lovely.
And I love that because one, it's calming. Two, it's about nature, and I find nature really calming and fascinating. I can see why some people worship creation rather than worship the creator.
Yeah.
Because creation is just so beautiful. I can actually see the horses in the water, white and sparkling and swimming. I can see the hills just majestic standing there, just doing nothing. Can you imagine? That
I can.
Of just a hill. It not dancing, it not do no, it not broke out and do no bum flick, no, nothing like that, no bogle. The hill just stand there majestically, clad in green, some short trees, I won't even go on.
No, that's okay, because I mean you're being very descriptive and very animated and very you're full of expression. And you don't just talk with words. This is what I'm saying. It all started when you I guess when you got up on that crate and
yes.
you started you started telling the stories. I might have seemed a bit distracted, but it was only because I was trying to find the bus.
Feathers Transport. You see, Feathers Transport. It's iconic in many ways. You can see all of them load up there, and all them. Hold on there. Look for me that sit down in that 1, 2, 3. Look for me that's not the third row. That's the bus I used to take to school. Rudy. Sorry, I keep calling you Rudy. My ex is Rudy. Rudy. You see the bus there? Some corner it have to go around, you see? Some hill it have to go up and come down. Oh, mercy. I tell you, they are the most skillful. Lord, I said big up Starliner bus. Oh, yes. You know, them drivers are simply skillful.
Listen, mate, when I first went to Jamaica, and I got into a cab and I see my man bunning his spliff and he's navigating and I'm looking out the window and all I can see is, boy, you know something. Look like a long tumble if we fall down this side, yes, sir.
And you're talking about a car. Imagine the size of that bus. And sometimes, and guess what? Sometimes, I'm telling you no lie, you can ask anybody when you go to Jamaica. Sometimes the bus light somehow not working. We don't know what to it. And you know, people have driven that bus in the dark and take it to its destination.
When we was going Browntown, that's when I experienced that. In the darkness, going through, and I thought to myself, right, we don't know all this. But then, you know what? I just said to myself, he lives here. It's like I know that I can drive down the M1, for example, and if there's no light, I'm all right because I just know. I just know the road. I know the bangs. I know exactly how long it's going to take me to get from one petrol station to another. I can see a lamppost, and I'll know it. So I know exactly where I am at any given time. I know exactly where I am. So I just
know every pothole. They know every pothole.
Oh, the potholes in Jamaica are different. The potholes in Jamaica, you find families living in them. And so
yeah, man. And so I said, watch it, bend down your head, child, I must about to pass.
But then the thing is that you met up with Devon Morgan. When you met up with Devon Morgan, things started to, I mean, you know, that first meeting with him, how did that go?
Well, I knew Devon from a community club we used to all join. He called it a youth club, but some of us in there was no youth whatsoever. We passed at the time. Called Shavara, a very vibrant club that did sports and theatre. And Devon had somehow got into Kingston and met up with this group or this woman called Hyacinth Brown. She had a theatre company. She was a director of it as well. And she was casting a play about somebody, about a family situation and a girl who was a helper and wanted to go to America because she thought she would do better there. And she wanted a young, sexy girl to play the part of the helper. And several people turned up for the audition and it wasn't working. She wasn't happy with the choices that she was given. So she asked Devon and all the others to keep their eyes out for somebody.
Wait, hold on. I want you to stick a pin here. Right? Because we're going to come back to this. Don't misunderstand me. We're definitely going to come back to this. And it's quite interesting. But the thing is, before that, Young Gal Where Your Size did happen, didn't it?
No, Young Gal Where Your Size came out of that.
It came out. All right, then. But let's tell the story then.
Yeah, so Devon came to my house and said, Lavern, I want you to say yes. Never ask you a question and just say yes. And I said, no, sir. Me not say yes, but I know me say yes to. No, sir. He said, come on, please, may I beg you. Just say yes. And he went on, and then I finally gave up and said, all right, then yes. But if I don't like what I say yes to, I'm done. And so I said, what is it? He said, well, there's a lady, she's casting for a part now and play, and I know you can do it, Lavern. I know you can manage that. I just know. Everybody come, she run them and say, all right, come and do the audition. It's all right. Then I got here once of her. He said, she kind of rude.
Fierce it.
And she
Rude ain't the word, man. I said rude ain't the word.
She said she rough, love. Me not fool you, Lavern. She
Rough.
rude. But just come. Me know you will get the part and thing. And me say, Devon, you know, me mouth stay, you know, cause the fact that she a big woman and she older than me, and if she rude up herself, she go and get it.
Mm-hmm.
So he said to me, just come, man, just come. So I went, and when I got there, I stood outside, and looking in on the rehearsal, and there was a girl. She had a nice plump body, and she was reading the part, and she was reading well. And Miss Brown, the director, her head was down making notes about either the previous person or the same person, making notes. And then she looked up and she saw the girl. Rudi, for you to get the understanding of what I'm saying, you're going to have to imitate her. And when you see me nod my head, it means that it's a wicked swear word she just used, right? Coming out and said a swear word.
All right.
She look up and she see her. Oh, what she had do up there? Where she come from? Take that off of the stage. Come off of the stage. Me tell you somebody nice and sexual will bring that the fat girl. And when the girl look, when the girl hold up her head from the paper and look upon her, the girl had cross eyes.
Yeah.
So she look. You look a bush girl. When you bring this look a bush girl come here for? Which husband I go want left him wife there with that? Oh my God, this woman rough. And inside of me just feel something come up and I want to go in there to fight her on behalf of the girl. So I catch Devon eye, because Devon look out as soon as he said that. And Devon, Mr. Devon face as used to say, Jesus, Lavern gone now. So I said, you see you here? And he run, come out and grab me and beg me. So I went in and I had the audition, and this was how I was first introduced into Pain Theatre.
Okay, Pain Theatre.
Pain Theatre. People were now going to pay to come and watch me, and I was on the same stage that many of the other big people up and coming have gone. This was how I got in. She said, after I finished, "You're on script. Rehearsal start Monday."
And that was it.
That was it. I started and did the show. It was a major hit, and that's how Lieutenant Stitchy and England came into the whole thing.
Because I know that everybody heard me mention Lieutenant Stitchy, but I don't think we was all aware of who was actually in it at the time. So here is a little something for you, and then I want you to tell them about the guy on the bus. Nice. Now, how many of you remember that tune? We never know say it was you.
What? Age is a thingy. Play a number upon me, you could never work me out.
No, sir. You never know. No, because the thing is that means that I met you before I even met you. That's what I said.
Okay.
You get me? I met you before I even met you, because I remember watching the video as a youngster coming through. You understand what I'm saying? But me would have never know say, are you?
Yes.
Yeah?
That was my first and only music video.
Okay. But the point is that you've done one.
Yes.
You've done one. Yeah.
I would hate to have done one and it was rubbish, but as it goes, it was successful.
And not only that, but I mean, you were picked out in a very extraordinary way. You know, and this is while traveling upon the bus. Tell us about this story about that.
Well, first of all, a friend of mine told me that in Brethren, my friend named Fish tell me say, in Brethren write one song and I look one girl for playing at the video. That's what I mean, Lavern. So I tell her, I know the girl, man, I know a girl can do it. She named Lavern. You know, set you up. And he said he was gonna tell the guy. He told the guy, but I never hear anything again ever. It's for about maybe about 6 months or more. I didn't hear anything. And I was coming on the bus from Kingston one day, and I saw this guy get on the bus out of Cremo, near Duane Park, for those who in the audience who know Jamaica. When he got on the bus, I was sitting at the back, and for some reason, it just clapped on me, and he started to lip sync. And it was embarrassing me because everybody in the bus was looking around to see who this guy's talking. You know, and I felt shame, so I went on my head, and he kept doing it, and he was having great fun, making me feel uncomfortable, turning his head this way. And eventually we got to Spanish Town Hospital. We come off of the bus and give him some cut eye when we pass, give him some dirty look him up and down. And then he jumped off at the bus and start walk with me, telling me how much he love me. I love you, you know, you look nice, and you could have been my wife. When I said, oh, would have married to you right, that's right now.
Sound like Blacker. You know, I love you. First time I start loving you now, right? Come on, now I start loving you. Sound like Blacker.
And the bus was right there, and he hadn't reached his destination because I know he didn't live in my area. Mm-hmm. And but he had a skill, as many Jamaican boys have. After the bus come and reach where I am standing, him just run and just up on the bus, you know. It's a style and a skill that. And then he kept on throwing kisses back at me. So fast forward to doing the play. I'm there doing my show every night, as I do from Saturday to Sunday, from Saturday to Saturday. And his guys were in, his manager and some other people from, they just came to watch the show. They just come to watch the show. It had nothing to do with the fact that I was in the show. And when they came, they said, that's the girl we want to do the video. That's the girl. And they spoke to Miss Brown and say, you know, Miss Brown, we want to use your actress and to do that video. And she said, all right. So when you know what tell her, when you tell me for, I mean, you know what to use? And they said, no, but we'd like you to tell her. And she came and told me. And she said, Wang, you can't do it. We don't have no problem with it. But let me tell you something. No make them fin use you. Make sure they pay you. And if they not pay you, make me know. I get them, and I didn't hear anything. Another 3 or 4 months must have passed before I hear anything else. I was at my house. We didn't have telephone like that. At my house, Rudy, with me curlers in my hair and in my yard clothes, in my judging clothes. And me here said somebody out of the road that asked to me. And sent me for come. And so I went out. These people I've never seen in my life. Introduced themselves. Stitching manager and somebody else and the other, whoever they were, said they come to get me because I'm gonna make the video today. So there's all kind of people in this. I said, yeah, we have to make it. This is the only time we have because we lose up on this and whatever reason. Went over my head. I agreed. Okay, went in my wardrobe, grabbed some clothes, grabbed on shoes, and come out with my rollers, seeing we caught me here in the car. Blah blah blah. Went and did the video. There it was. Saturday. So I finished the video and Stitchy hugged me and said, thank you very much. And I said, no problem. And they talked to the people and say, he's going to pay me, which they did right there on the spot in a crossroad. Mm-hmm. They handed me an envelope and I didn't know what to expect. I didn't have a chance to ask anybody, you know, what should I expect? How much to
ask for or not like that.
But I say, you know, it can't kill me, but the day I'm yard I do nothing. And by the time I get up and do it, it can only enhance my career one way or the other. Mm-hmm. And he said, thank you very much, and left. And a few Saturdays later, I was outside down at De La Vega City, where I live. I chill out on the wall as we do on a Friday evening, sit down on Saturday evening, chat foolishness. And me hear big noise in every household. Why? Excitement! Watch ya! Lavern. So I get up from out of the wall and I run into and we go. That was the video. It had
See?
boss, and everybody was like, "What? Lavern, you never tell me." But I didn't want to tell anybody, and then they can it, and I
Yeah,
ended up looking like an idiot. So
yeah.
I just left it, and it was good. It won Video of the Year award, and it was nice.
Mm, mm. So I can see now that the you're starting to meet up with a lot of different actors, a lot of actresses. You came through the competitions and everything.
Mhm.
So then, where does Mister me have a talk about him? Me have a talk about him. You know, Mr. Tomlins.
My husband of many shows.
Owe him coming to the picture now because
So he
this
starts
man,
off the way and finish, Rudi.
you and him, everything, you and him, everywhere, you and him, you know, it's you and him and you and him and you and him and you and him and you and him, you know, and of course we can't leave out the famous, where it there, man, famous.
Yes, Bups. That's a cult thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Charles was in the play that the woman wanted the beautiful girl for whatever. Charles was the postman. Devon Morgan was the husband who would eventually want to be with his helper, which is a commonplace thing. And and Lovena Brown, who you might touch on, was his wife.
Okay.
And Charles was a postman who stop off at this yard when me at work every day, whether I have meal or not. He gonna come deliver something. And so every day he come and deliver something. If it's not a package, he might deliver a meal.
Okay.
And that's how he was first. And then he was actually like a boyfriend. But he supported my wanting to go to America because if I get there, you know, and that's where me and Charles started. And that journey began with Charles. And as long as I do theater, it's going to end with Charles. He's my friend. He's my beaten stick. He's my cousin tool. He's everything. He's been my husband, as you can see, many times. He's played good husband, bad husband, careless husband.
Charles with everything. Charles with everything. But it was the union of the four of you: Lavern, Devon, Charles,
Lovena.
You know, Lovena, yourself, Lovena. I keep messing up. Lovena. Because you came over with that same said play, isn't it, to the UK?
Don't Blame the Postman was the play.
Which you took to Brixton Village.
Yeah. You know, in my life now, just since you and I talk, I've been I was thinking, hold on, these things seem to happen as if they were destined, you know. The whole Stitchy thing, getting into all of that. Everything. This guy came from England. Leonard Hay had a theatre company called Roots Theatre Company. That was in the time when lots of black theatre was in England. And he came to Jamaica on a vacation and he wanted to watch a play. And he went to watch one that was on the same premises. Two theatre existed on the same land space, but separate buildings. And he went to book to see an Oliver show. And it was sold out. And wherever he came from, he had made that his journey for the day. And somebody said to him, "But there's another show going around here now. It's nice show. You can't go on. I don't know if they have any seat either." And when he came, he was lucky. There must be about few seats left, and he sat down to watch the show. Loved it. And at the end of the show, he went up to Miss Brown. See my Hyacinth Brown, me I talk about. That's the one day.
Yeah.
Hyacinth Brown, she went to him and said, "I like the show. I would like to take it to England. So let me know. I'll come back, give me your details. We'll meet up." They met up. He told her that he doesn't want to take the whole cast.
Right.
He's gonna pick who he wants from the cast. And thankfully, I was chosen, Charles was chosen, and Lovena was chosen. And of course, Miss Brown, being the director, he wanted it to keep the same director because he was impressed with their directorial skills.
Right.
So he said he'll take her as well and meet the other people. He will fill out the other people from England. And that's how we went to England. Yes, England, may I come long distance from plane British Airways, eating with knife and fork, really knife and fork and good with food and getting nice thing from plane. Oi! Nice lady with her blonde blue eyes asked me, can I help you? I said, of course you can help me. How about a cup of tea?
So this is when you met up with Janet Kay and thing, innit?
Yes, so Janet Kay was in the show. Janet Kay played the part of a nosy neighbor, and a nosy neighbor she played very well. She just had a way of just turning up when you least expect her. She's right there in the house. So tell me something. And that was Chris Tajar, who I haven't seen for, I haven't seen him after I don't remember seeing him after the show. Yes, so he,
that I've, you know, he's believe it or not, he's not very strongly imprinted on my mind, to be honest with you.
Okay. He was playing the pastor, and he was supposed to be a lecherous man, but I don't think he has it in him to be lecherous. He's a very lovely person, and so he's supposed to try and seduce me, tell me how he can get me to go to America, and all of that, and whatever. So, oh my God, I look like my niece there.
You look gorgeous. You look absolutely gorgeous. You really do. I mean, I know, but
I'm going to do some plastic surgery, man. Take them bags from under my eye. I'm going to wear braces.
You know?
No, man, I'm going to do some work. See, I can kind of get back a little at the look. But you know, I'm kind of like the look. I kind of like the
look is nice.
I kind of like the weathered look. It shows I've been around the block a couple of times and still.
I mean, let's be real. I mean, you know, when you guys came to England, you started paving the way. And when I say, I'm not saying that you made Oliver who he is. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that you paved the way in terms of the tours that he could do. You know,
yeah,
you know, north, south, Gloucester Hills, and everything. You know, I mean, it was the four of you. You know, it's obvious that the Midlands love you up there, sir. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then I mean, that's when you started to kind of like I said, you were living in Sydenham. You guys, first of all, you started out in Brixton, if I'm correct.
Yeah, the show was at Brixton. It ran for about 6 months.
Right.
Which is a long run. And then Charles and I went back to Jamaica, and then he brought the show back by popular demand. And after that, I didn't go back. I run off. So
but when you look to come out with Bups, the what happened to the first the first poster that come out?
First poster was banned by Lewisham Council because it had me with my hair quite disheveled. My eye them look on Charles with murderers in my eye. And my hand hold up in balls, and I go cut it off because my final man. I cut it off. And it was circulating a good while before they realized.
I remember seeing that poster.
You've never seen it?
I think Skank Magazine. Skank Magazine also did what's the word? Kind of like revamped in a different way. Woman who's holding a man off, kind of where the idea came from.
It took a little time before the council realized that what was this. My internet behaving bad.
I think I had a slight as well. But what you were in Sydenham, you were suffering your income in a different kind of a way.
Yeah, well, as my auntie said when I wanted to be an actress, it's not a proper job. You need to find a proper job. And so it was an enjoyable job, but there are times when you're not working, the resting periods, as I call it. And for me to do that, I turned to my next second love, which is cooking. Because to escape her at school, because she teach subject that most of my friends were doing, and I wanted to do it because my friends was doing it, typing, business study, blah blah blah. But I was not going to be at home with her, at school with her. So I chose to do food and nutrition and home economics. And so when I needed to supplement my income, I would cook. I would do temp work in offices, but I hated that so badly. I found a pub in Sydenham called the Two Halves, and I started there doing cooking first. I got them to allow me to do jerk chicken out the front, which the punters didn't like at all.
Because you took out the pan, innit? You took out the proper drum, everything, innit?
Yes, the big old drum outside there, and that pub was you can call it what they would have called it. Say, you see that pub there, white man pub, that
You're white.
Yeah, and it was, and but I went there and put in a bid and say, I hear that there's a kitchen here and you might want to rent it. They said yes. I rented it and started cooking and selling food there. And from that, the whole smoking in pubs took a hit on pubs. So I became a manager because I wanted to control the running of the pub, and because sometimes some of the people that work on run the pub, they're not ready yet. And you know how we black people stay. They didn't. The managers didn't want to pay to clean the toilet, so I think they probably pocketed the budget and didn't bother to clean the toilet. I'm running food. I can't let my people come in. So I said, only way to solve this is to become a publican.
Okay.
So I did, and ran the Two Halves pubs for a good while. I used to have Caribbean evenings once a month to make sure, say, you get a good crowd of people and the place vibes, see? And then I left, I gave it up, and came to Canada and for a while. And then I came back and understand that it was still there, and I started running again, but this time it was hard, and I came up with the kitchen theatre.
Lovely, 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 lovely.
Because I had to make the money, Enough people are yard that depend on mother, father, sister, nieces.
Yeah. I think this is a lovely story. I think it's a lovely story because to take your two run and we're gonna have food, a play, and all of this happening at the same time, and you going on, isn't it? Live, it's going on live, isn't it?
Yep, live. No direction. You just study your lines and you come and you do the show. So meanwhile you're eating, we're giving you the show. But the thing is, we don't have that restaurant don't have no waiter. The waiter is the actress and the actress is the waiter. So that's how we did it.
Oh man, that's quite very new to think about it. Already people go right. We done gonna go and have something to eat.
Yeah.
People in Sydney, you know what we play. And I guess you must have been mental how you. Can you hear me? Okay.
I lost you a bit there. What did you say?
Yeah, we did cut out for a little bit. I said it must have been quite to schedule and structure something like that. Must have been quite a task.
It was a task. And to be honest, it worked. There were a few incidents. One show I did called "Shall I Kill Mama?" Beautiful play that I love. Very touching place. Serious but funny. If you like something where if it hurt you, I make you cry and then make you laugh. That's that show, man. Shall I Kill Mama? Written by Trevor Thomas. And we did that one. And the person who played the son, I tried to use two Anders to just keep the place from not to be. Somehow it didn't work. I might have miscast it. It might have been my fault, and people couldn't hear him properly. But other than that, all the others have run smoothly. Charles was my first stand man. I called him. He was the only person I shared the idea with. We worked it out, delivered.
Because you took to bad connect. It's a bad connect.
Huh?
Okay. You took the. Can you hear me? Okay.
You said I took
we're getting.
I took the took.
Took to Canada.
Yeah, I came here and I miss London so much. I miss my that theatre life, that creativity, and it was soul destroying when I came here at first, not doing anything like that. So I went to a restaurant and had some food. The restaurant was nice. The people was personable, and I just thought, hey, would you like to have a play here? How would you like me to come here and do a play? And he says, you don't understand. Oh, how? So I explained, and he said, all right, no problem. So I said, just tell me how much you'll charge me. He said, I don't want to charge you anything, because you're bringing people to the place, and, you're bringing business. And so I called Charles. Charles, man. Hey, if Charles want one nice piece of wood for knock. No, this feel like a minute good hood.
Really?
Sorry.
That's you mean that?
I need a good piece of wood. The piece here.
Yeah.
Knock wood. Me don't know that if not happen to the boy there, I don't know what I'd do if anything happened to him. Love him to bits. That Charles Tomlin. So I called him up and I said, hey, I have an idea. Lord Jesus, Lavern, you and your idea them. One oh. I'm going to tell him. And he said, hey, that sound bad, but how we have a rehearse? You over there, me over there. Me say, we rehearse over Skype, man. We rehearse over Skype. Because the important thing is to know the lines. When you come here, then we can do the blockings and set the movements. Plus, there won't be a lot of blockings because we might not have a stage, so we might just be doing it but we had a stage. And I did two. I did Sitting in Limbo here. And that I had done several years ago at the Tricycle Theatre in London. Really good play about the Grenadian Revolution. And because it was two people, I brought it here as well. And I had two successful productions on my hand here in Canada.
So you started to... I mean, you just skimmed over Sitting here in Limbo, because that was quite... That was less of a farcical play, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. I've done a few that are not farcical. Sitting in Limbo was one, and Shall I Kill Mama was the other. With Pauline Black. I'm not easily intimidated, but this woman somehow intimidated me.
She's quite stern. She's very stern. She was.
She did catch me at first.
One thing was like when you and them as Black British audiences, and you before also coming through with that. So she was quite iconic.
Yes.
Iconic. So it's not would be. And then for you guys, what was going on at the time? She's going to take it too, because America had invaded. Tell them about the background in that play. It wasn't about it.
Phyllis Cord was a Jamaican woman of high color, very educated woman, very she had a strong personality and sensible, politically motivated and all of that. She married a Grenadian, and it was in the time when America invaded Grenada on the basis that they were becoming a communist country. They didn't want them in the backyard. Cuba was building an airport, which means they would have launched whatever and all of that. Political foolish.
Yeah.
And the story is not about the revolution or the invasion. The story is about two women who, as a result of the revolution, got caught up. Phyllis Cord was part of government, and she was arrested for her part in it, in which she actually encouraged the local Maurice Bishop and her husband to go for socialism. And there was no prison on the island, so when she was found guilty, they didn't want to send her to Jamaica to serve her time, just in case Jamaica be lenient with her, and they wanted her to have the maximum punishment. So they created a home prison, incarcerated at a house, and I was her warden. And I had suffered my own pains. She had suffered her own pains as a result of it, in that my husband disappeared. I didn't know whether he was dead or somewhere in the whatever, but he just didn't come back after the revolution, presumably dead. And when I did it here, it had more of a impression on me emotionally, and because there was a lot of Grenadians in the audience, a lot, and they stayed back to share their stories, which went for a long time, because they all wanted, it's like they just wanted to talk about it now, because maybe now they can talk about it without feeling so much pain and so much anger and stuff like that. They could talk about how they escaped the gunshots, about neighbors whose fathers never came back, and sons were just killed, and you just think, rotted. Then there are things that we hear about in Afghanistan and them places that took place in the Caribbean. I mean, I knew about it because I liked politics when I was growing up, because it also has its way with words. And so I like politics, and I knew about it. So, but when you look at it and you see these ordinary people in front of you who have got such painful memories of it, you know, it was written by a lady called Dawn Phillips and Judy Hepburn. So we've been trying to do it for International Women's Year, because it's a play that sits well with that thing, because it's written about two women, by two women, and this woman did in actuality have that kind of relationship. So all the time when I see me up on stage, I'm going like, hey! I can say, hey.
That's why I wait to do this, because no, you tasty, butty, rich, man grabbing, all kind of thing there. But I was like, we don't really, you know, I want them to really get the background, the who you really are, kind of like thing. And what you've turned. Even you like this.
Okay, here we go. The grandma is in charge of the sleigh now. Hold on, guys. Hold on.
I rap rough with them, Rudi.
We can see that the internet is starting to play up, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to bring the interview to a close. Thank you very much for sharing so much with us. It's greatly appreciated. No, it's wonderful having you, man. Wonderful having you.
I just want to pay tribute to all the people that have helped me, because I don't like the term star. I really feel uncomfortable when people say that. Um, all the people that have helped me on my journey to living out my dream that I had in Gingerage all those years ago.
Okay. Okay. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna love you and leave you. You guys can see that the internet is starting to play up with me, which is kind of like, I think it must be telling me something that it's time for me to look out for the Slim Comedian and just let this play out, and I will say goodbye to you personally in the green room. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
The guests with
Whoa, people. Sorry about that. What happened was Virgin have collapsed, didn't they? On the old internet. So because Virgin have gone down, it's really affected everything. I mean, the show ended about, believe it or not, over 45 minutes ago. So I know there's still a couple of you watching. But you missed it, mate. It was a great interview. I really loved it, really enjoyed it. I mean, Lavern is she's a consummate pro, man. You know, we didn't really get a chance to get into all the plays and everything, but I didn't really want to be honest. I didn't really want to talk so much about the plays, because I thought what I would do with regards to that is have a conversation with Charles, Devon, Lavern, and Lovena, who actually did the plays in the UK, which was extremely successful, as you guys know, because it was actually a commercial success, which there were certain other production companies didn't like the idea of it, because they saw it as they saw their plays as farcical. So, which is another way of just saying that we were snobs. They were snobby about it. But in truth, the likes of Blue Mountain Theatre was actually a commercial success. It's quite similar to the comedy circuit that I was working on, whereby you had an organization by the name of Jongleurs, and Jongleurs was a commercial success, but they never really received critical acclaim. So they were snobbed by the comedy industry. And I guess the same thing could be said of the likes of Blue Mountain and actors and actresses who played major roles like Devon Morgan, Charles Tomlin, Lavern Brown. I hear my phone ringing, I think. Hold on a second. Sugar Bee. room? How you guys doing? You're not coming in the room. You're not coming in the room late. Why are you coming in the room so late? That's what I want to know. Do you know what I mean? Should have been in the room when I was actually interviewing Lavern Archer. Yeah, someone's just popped off. Come out your biz, please. Me no mind. But there's still 5 of you still voyeurists still out there. You're so terrible. Right, that's another one gone. So I'm just waiting for it. That's another one who just popped in. Listen, man, it's Easter. You're supposed to be on your break. Supposed to be on your break at Easter break. No, you know. Now is not the time. Eh? But listen, I'm out, man. Thanks for your time. Thanks for joining me. My name is Rudi Lickwood. Boy!